Hi everyone, Theta here, and today I'm going to show you how to solve the Limcube Dual 2.2. So without further ado, let's get right to it. This puzzle is basically a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, so there's no need for me to go over the notation. Just make sure that when you perform any algorithm, the cube is facing the right way. The two faces that are locked on my cube are the blue and white faces. I'm not sure if that's the same on every cube, but if not, when I refer to the blue or the white face, I'm referring to whichever faces are locked on your cube. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the overall method we're going to use. What we're going to do first is to solve the first two layers of the inside cube. Then we're going to solve the first two layers of the outer cube, and then we're going to OLL the inside and the outside cube, and then lastly we're going to PLL the outside cube and then PLL the inside cube. So let's get this cube messed up. That looks pretty messed up to me. So like I just said, the first step to solving this cube is solving the first two layers. This can be a little tricky at first, but there are little cheats that you can use to do it quite easily. What you're going to want to do is to put the white face on the bottom and solve that cross first. You can't rotate the inside cube with that layer, so you're going to have to use the top layer a lot to move pieces around. From what I understand, the blue and white piece on the inside cube can't actually move, so that's already solved. There's a pink and white piece there, so I'm going to rotate it into that slot. There's the orange and white there, orange and white. So I'm going to rotate it in there. Oh, and there's the green and white. So then I'm going to rotate it in there. Once you do the cross on the inner cube, you can move on to F2L. If you already know how to do F2L, then I suggest that you solve the orange-blue and pink-blue pairs first, because the fact that you can't move the inner cube with the blue face makes it difficult to insert the pairs, and if the other slots are free then you can use them to reorientate the pairs so you can insert them easily. Then you can solve the other pairs once you've done that. So the blue and pink inner edge is here, so I'm going to have to find the blue and pink corner. There it is. And so I'm going to match them together to create an F2L pair. But as you can see, when I go over here to insert it, because the blue stickers are facing downwards, to insert it usually you would rotate this here and then insert it like that, but because this doesn't move the inner cube, I'm going to use this slot here to rotate the F2L pair. So I'm going to insert it first, and then I'm going to take it out like this. So now you can see the pink is facing down. So that now I can insert it easily. So that's the blue and pink F2L pair done. So now for the orange and blue. There it is. There's the orange and blue corner. There's the orange and blue edge. So I'm going to see, now we have an F2L pair, but because the orange is facing down, it's pretty easy to just insert that, so there's no need for me to use the F2L slot to rotate it. So now I have these two slots left, and I can easily solve it. So as you can see, the first two layers of the inside cube are solved. So if you don't know how to do F2L, then it's high time you learnt, but I'm not going to leave you in the lurch here, so this is what you're going to do. Solve either the orange-blue or pink-blue pair in one of the other slots instead of the slot it belongs to. For example here, this is the red-blue-white corner, which is analogous to the pink-blue and white corner on the Limcube. To solve this corner, we just insert it so that the white is facing down. Don't worry that it's in the wrong place. And then we insert the edge as if this was in the right place. So there we go. So as you can see, we now have this F2L pair. So once you solve this F2L pair, take it out like this, so that the red is facing down. Insert it like this. So if you don't know how to do F2L, you've learnt a little bit today, but now we're going to try on this orange and blue corner. So I'm going to insert the orange and blue corner as if it was in the right place, and now I need to insert the edge to create a pair. So I need to take this edge out, and then I'm going to solve it so that we have a edge corner pair. So now we have an F2L pair. I'm going to take it out, but as you can see here, if I take it out like this, the blue is going to be facing down, and that's not what we want because the blue is the locked face. So we need to take it out like this, and then we can insert it like this. So once you've solved these corner edge pairs, you can go on then to solve the other corner edge pairs like you normally do in whatever method you use. Now to solve the outer F2L. I think most of you will be able to do this intuitively using the blue and white faces to your advantage, but here are a few hints to help you along. I suggest that the first thing you do is solve the green edges in the middle layer, and I have an easy algorithm for that. For the pink and green edge, have the blue face facing forward, and if the pink is facing up, then the algorithm is R2, F, R2. So as you can see, the inner cube still has its first two layers solved, and this edge is in the correct place. And if the green is facing up, the algorithm is F2, R, D, R inverted. And for the orange and green edge, we just have the mirrors. So if the orange is facing up, we have L2, F inverted, L2. And if the green is facing up, we do F2, L inverted, D inverted, L. Now we can move on to doing the cross. So the trick is, when you're doing the cross, is to use the blue face to get pieces in the right position. So relative to each other, the blue and white piece and the pink and white piece are in the right place. I'm going to insert the white and... Actually, I'm going to insert the green and white piece first. So I'm going to move the bottom layer along like this, put the green and white piece, and then insert the white and orange piece. So now you can see the cross is done. But sometimes it's not so simple. Sometimes our pieces are not orientated correctly. So if you have a piece that's orientated with the white part facing down and the other colour facing upwards, there's a short algorithm to insert it into the cross. So it moves this edge here over here and flips it so it's facing the right way. And what the algorithm is F inverted, R inverted, F, R. And now you can see the edge move from here to here, and now it's in the right orientation, but I didn't put it in the right place, so I'm just going to take it out again. And there we go. Now it's in the right position, and then I can put the orange edge in like this, and now we've done the cross. Once you've done the cross, there's one more edge that I suggest that you put in the right place. And that's the pink and blue edge, and so you can easily just take it out like this because the inner cube's not affected. You can take it out like this, and then you can put it in the right place like this. Don't worry about the corner. So now it's solved like this. You can use a keyhole method. I have a video on the keyhole method, so if you're not sure how it works, watch that video. But basically you bring the corner underneath this orange and blue face and solve it. So the right corner is already in this slot, so basically you just orientate the corner. Now it's the right way. So you basically continue bringing these corners underneath until okay. So you solve these by keyhole method. So now the last thing to do is to solve this using F2L. Now if you don't know how to do F2L now, there's not really a substitute I can give you, but just try your best. So we're going to have to do it all with R and U moves as to not disturb the inside cube. So here it looks pretty easy. I can just do this, and as you can see, the first two layers are solved, but sometimes you have to be a bit innovative. So if you have a case like this, it's basically like doing no rotation F2L. So just make sure that you use the blue face to solve it so as not to mess up the inside cube. So now that we've solved the first two layers of the inside cube and the outside cube, we can orientate the last layer of the inside cube. So as you can see here, oh, it's so hard to see. It's not orientated already, so just make sure when you perform all your algorithms, most of them involve just F and R and U moves, OLLs. So just make sure that when you perform all your algorithms, the pink face is facing forward, the green face is facing right, and the orange face is facing back if you're going to use back moves. Because if you use the blue face, the algorithm will go wrong. The algorithms will only work if you don't use the U face. If you're stuck, I'm pretty sure the beginner's method works pretty well in orientating this last layer, so I'm just going to use the beginner method because the algorithm I know for that doesn't really work. So now I've orientated all of the edges, I'm going to orientate the corners. So now I've orientated the last layer of the inside cube. I'm going to orientate the last layer of the outside cube. So now you turn it so that you're using the blue face as your R. If you use the algorithm F, R, U, R inverted, U inverted, F, you can solve all of your edges. So, and it doesn't affect the inside cube because you're using the blue face. And so now I've done that, I can solve the corners using, I think this is the Soon algorithm or something. In any case, it's R, U, R, U, R, U2, R. So now the top layer and the inside layer are orientated correctly. So now I'm going to solve the inside corners. You're going to want to have the pink face facing forward when you do your corner cycle algorithm. And the algorithm I suggest you use moves this corner here, this corner here, this corner here, and this corner here. And the algorithm is R inverted, F, R inverted, B2, R, F inverted, R inverted, B2, R2. Corners look solved. So now we can solve the corners on the outside cube. Oh, they're solved by themselves. So you can use the same algorithm I just described, but with the blue face on your right. I'm going to perform it here. And so now all of the corners are solved, the inside and the outside corners. So now we're going to solve the outside edges first. I'm just going to use a U-perm to solve all of them. So the U-perm I'm going to use is R, U inverted, R, U, R, U, R, U inverted, R inverted, U inverted, R. 2. So that's done those, and now I'm going to do that again to solve these edges. So now to our final step. This is a U-perm for the inside layer. So what it does is it moves the inner edge here, here, the inner edge here, here, in a U-perm. You're going to want to have your blue face on the right, and basically you perform the U-perm once that I just showed you. Then you perform a U move and rotate the cube like this and perform the U-perm twice. So the top layer solves, and as you can see, I need to perform this algorithm one more time for it to be solved, so I'm going to do it again. So now, as you can see, the inside layer is solved. However, the problem we have here is that they're sort of out of sync, so the light is really terrible, but it's pink on the inside. So if you keep just performing U-perm over and over again, the layers will rotate relative to each other and eventually it'll come back to being solved. So as you can see, the cube is now solved. If you have any questions, please leave a comment so I can get back to you. Some of the steps can be quite long and convoluted, but I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it.